Potentially, you're absolutely right. What else? If I want somebody to change, in some ways it's a trick question. Why is it a trick question?
Well, you kind of want them to change to please you.
Potentially. Does the question suggest that? The trick question is, it could be either. Remember, any behavior can be done with an inward or with an outward mindset. So, if I'm wanting somebody to change with an inward mindset, Courtney, you're absolutely right. It's about me. I want them to change because they are impacting me in a way that I don't like. I want them to change, right? It's an inward mindset. What might an outward mindset approach to wanting somebody to change look like? I have an outward mindset and I'm wanting somebody to change. Explain how that could possibly be an outward mindset.
It's to better themselves in the community or the organization, but to do well for themselves.
Yeah, I'll give you a very kind of stark, over the top example. I have a friend who has a child with drug problems, real drug problems. Now, this father desperately wants his child to change. Early on, I noticed that the reason he wanted him to change, and he was very upfront about it, was because it was reflecting poorly on him, as a father and everything else. Over time, you've seen that completely melt away, and he's just seen the pain and the anguish that this individual's going through for the rest of his life. Over time, he's found himself to a place where he wants to see that change for that person's sake. It's not even in the equation. He doesn't even think about this stuff. He just sees the pain, the anguish, and the future that's in store for this individual that change has occurred. Wanting somebody to change can come from an inward or an outward mindset. Okay? Always keep that in mind. Anything. So in the future, if there's a trick question like that, the answer is no. Right? You're both absolutely right. All right. I want you to go ahead and think of, and I believe there's a place to write this. Yes, next to that picture of Joe and Pat. Write the name, and this can be code. Okay. Write the name of somebody that you would like to see change. We're going to invite this individual to come along with us as we go through this next
So this
section.
is like business more, or like when you're professional?
You know what? Try to choose somebody on the professional and the business level, but if you can't, think of anybody that you really want to see change. And if there's somebody that's really occurring to you outside, in a family or a friend relationship, that's just fine as well. It's the principles that we want you to learn in the process, okay? So, either way. And we're not going to necessarily dive into whether or not you're fully in an inward or an outward mindset regarding wanting that person to change at this point. Just think of somebody that you would like to see change, preferably for their own good. Okay? All right. Now, I just want to ask you a question. Let's assume that this triangle represents all of our available time as it pertains to work environment, everything else, and wanting to see certain changes occur. Okay? So the question is, where do we spend more of our time, just in society in general, in ourselves, in our organization, dealing with things that are going wrong or helping things to go right?
Dealing with things that go wrong.
Obviously, right?
Putting out fires.
Yeah. In fact, we even have these code words of putting out fires and things like that. How much time do we actually spend in saying, I got an idea, let's go ahead and take the fire and the gasoline and put them in different rooms? So fire doesn't begin, right? We don't think like that. And in some respects, it makes sense. As you go through life, and if you're going to spend all this time making things go right, I got to focus on my job description. I got to focus on getting stuff done. Until something comes and disrupts my job description, why should I be spending time on it, right? Now, of course, at this point, we've identified that as an inward mindset, but it's a very rational way of operating, isn't it? In fact, society and efficiency experts and everybody kind of says that's what you do. You focus like a laser on your job description until something disrupts that or keeps you from being able to do one of those. It's not on your radar. Ignore it. Now, it's that mindset that allows a lot of things to begin to get to a point where there are fires to put out, though, right? So by the time they get to us, there's fire. All right. So, yes, Joanne, you're absolutely right. We are we're societally, organizationally, individually, usually we're more likely to be dealing with things that are going wrong than helping things go right. Okay? All right. So in order to increase productive influence, we need to spend more time helping things go right. So we need to find a way to reverse this. Okay? So we're going to take a look at it. 82. Now, let's see how many are actually. Okay. So 78. Does anybody have it on page 82? 2 of you. All right. Well, the 3 of us are in sync. Okay. Meaning that you guys were right. We're wrong. So bear with us here as we try and stay up with you. Okay. This is a very powerful tool that we're going to go ahead and explore here for a second. Okay. So you've got this listed on your page. What I'm going to do. This is the Arbiter influence pyramid. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the elements that are in here, and I want you to go ahead and write those down in this influence pyramid. And then there are 3 lessons that I'll go ahead and explain to you. Now, on your notepad there, you see the lines within the pyramid, and you also see them off to the side. You can write these off to the side of the white space, just on the levels that pertain. Okay? All right. So first off, the lowest level of the pyramid is getting out of the box, improve my mindset. Okay, so go ahead and write that in there. All right. And of course, down here we've got our 2 symbols, which by now are tattooed in your brains. This represents what? Inward. Outward. All right. Good. All right, next level up, there's 2 different kinds of relationships. We'll put this kind of at the top because there's going to be words here and here. It's build relationships. Okay, so that's the next level up. And then right underneath here, you have with the person or group or with others who have influence. We'll write that. Next level up is listen and learn. Teach and communicate. Correct. So correct is still a part of this, but you see the proportional size. Notice over here, from here down, these things are about helping things go right. They're it's about correcting things that got wrong. Okay? So we're just building this pyramid. We'll see its application and use here in a second. But now I'm going to give you 3 lessons of how we go about using this tool, this pyramid. Okay? Go ahead and write these down on the next page over. Page 79 for most of you. 82 for those of us that are ready to read that. All right. Lesson number 1. Most time and effort should be spent at the lower levels of the pyramid. So right off the bat, this is a completely new way of allocating our time as it comes to influence and change. In other words, down here, building relationships, making sure we have the right mindset, spending more and more time here rather than up here. Number 2, the solution to a problem at one level of the pyramid is always below that level of the pyramid. Okay. always below that level of the pyramid. Now this might sound simple, but it is so completely contrary to what most of us do. When we correct somebody, whether it be somebody we work with, or an employee, or a volunteer, or something else, and the correction doesn't take, what do? We correct more. We correct harder. We double down and correct. What we're suggesting here is we correct. When we haven't achieved the results that we want, we move down to teach and communicate. All right, correct hasn't worked. We're not going to dwell there. We're going to go down the pyramid. Teach and communicate. Let me make sure I'm communicating why is so important. The why of the what, so to speak. Okay? The what is, I need you to change your behavior. Pure and simple. So much of our corporate structure kind of came out of the military formation of World War II. And so the rise of management programs and business schools and things kind of came out of that command and control structure, which is very different than the most efficient models for organizational change and growth. And so usually what would happen is you correct. If they did it right, you correct again. You correct harder, and now I'm bringing in the stick. Correct or else. We usually go there. We double down on correction. What we're saying here is it's not about soft and niceness. It's about what's productive. What will get you there more quickly. And it's to move to the next level down. So teach and communicate. We'll see this in just a minute here. Actually, Chip is going to take us through this. All right. Teach and communicate. Teach and communicate is still not resonating. Maybe I should pause for a second. Tell me why this is being difficult. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding. Can you help me understand? This is kind of where we need you to go. I thought I've kind of communicated. Maybe I haven't communicated well enough, but this is the reason for that. Tell me why. What's the resistance? Why isn't this happening? Okay? And then potentially, if even that isn't working, well, it may be a sign that there's a flawed or very shallow relationship to begin with. And that's where I need to begin to focus my time. There isn't a trust. There isn't a bond. There isn't anything that would allow me to be seen as somebody they can trust to listen to or whatever else. And then ultimately, if my mindset is askew, none of this stuff will work, right? Because ultimately, my effectiveness at each level of the pyramid, my influence, depends on the lowest level of the pyramid, which is my mindset. A little longer, we'll give you some more time here. Ultimately, my effectiveness at each level of the pyramid, which is my influence, depends on the lowest level of the pyramid, my mindset. And again, this is what we're talking about, is our ability to influence change. All right, so we have this map, we have this tool, this framework, as you say here now, this influence pyramid. It's so simple in some regards. We're going to see how this is actually employed. Before we do that, let's look at what happens with our time allocation. So again, inward mindset, outward mindset. And what do you think that the inward mindset does to the pyramid? If the shapes represent the allocation of our time, it does, doesn't it? Why so? Why is it reversing?
It's just spending most of your time correcting. You're just trying to correct instead of stepping back and listening and building those relationships and training to teach.
Ultimately, both of these people want to see the right things taking place, right? The difference is over here, we're spending a lot of time in these areas to make sure that things go right. Whereas over here, we're really not even aware of stuff until it gets onto our plate, or until it confronts us, until it disrupts our rhythm and our routine. And because of that, they're fires, they're emergencies. But by its very definition, it means we're not aware of them until they do that. That is a perfect and beautiful reflection of an inward mindset we're operating. If we're not cognizant of something that has the potential to affect us until it lands on our own plate, we're operating from an inward mindset. So you see the allocation of time completely different here. Right? This is actually a very beautiful and very profound principle when you begin to apply it and think about it. We're going to apply this in a second. You'll be able to apply this to your own situation. We'll see Chip, and I'll share a quick story of me learning the hard way of how this actually works. I do have stories where I do things right, by the way. I do. Should probably find one of those. Anyway. All right. So this is Chip's going to talk about very tense situations. Okay, you know there are both entrenched long-term situations of conflict or correction, changing, and needing, and there are also very acute situations. Chip is going to take us through an acute situation, a very tense situation that occurred, and how he actually went through this pyramid to influence some change. Okay, let's hope that the sound is a little better on this one. Cross our fingers.
So we're serving a search warrant one day, and what had happened was this house had been the scene of a shooting the night prior. Some gang members had kind of taken up residence there.
Let me go back for a second.
Might be able to turn this.
Let's change and put one speaker over there going that way, and maybe bring this one down here, because instead of getting over here, they're both pointed up that way. And if you maybe angle that one so it's going straight at Michelle. The people that are sitting here to the side are closest to the speakers, so they might still hear. Let's see if that'll cross our fingers. Just decide to not be as loud.
Who's going to turn off the air?
Yeah, I tried those. Oh, there it is.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Jen. Now we'll hear it, and I'll be sweating, but we'll understand.
Yes.
So we're serving a search warrant one day, and what had happened was this house had been the scene of a shooting the night prior.
Ah, so that one's not even coming out.
Nothing coming out of
Oh,
that
that's
one.
what we put here.
Let's make sure.
There's some plugs in, maybe down below.
For the balance or something?
We did not touch the speaker.
I know, I pushed a button. I pushed a button.
We didn't do any technology in my meeting.
That's why it's humming, because it's when you get friends or something.
Well,
It was coming
you know,
in there yesterday.
actually, the power everything's going through there
I
just
don't
fine.
know.
Right, the
It's
sound
like on
is
its way out.
too, because that's the central one. This is
Yeah.
that's the extra one, so it's going through. I don't know if there's a.
One speaker's not working.
Okay. All right, let me play and see if it's. Wait,
So we're serving a search warrant one
It's
day.
going now.
and what had happened was this house had been the scene of a shooting the night prior.
but at least it's working.
Some gang members had kind of taken up residence there.
Is that one
So it
working?
was a very
Yeah.
That one.
Okay.
You just had to walk in the room. How do you do that? That's the way it works, right? You walk in the room. Thank you. All right. Some people, it's like technology's afraid of them. It's like, ah, dang, all right. You're going to call us on the guy just switch it down. All right, here we go. Chip.
So we're serving a search warrant one day, and what had happened was this house had been the scene of a shooting the night prior, and some gang members had kind of taken up residence there. So it was a very high-risk warrant. We come out of the van with the team, we approach the house, and we knock the door off the hinges. And as we do, there's a couple of guys with guns that get up and present. And as my team is clearing the doorway, these guys are kind of making the decision of what do they do, and it's very tense. And there's a point where it's very easy for someone to get shot. But they throw the guns down, one tries to run out the back door, the other one's taken down right by the couch. And we get them into custody. There's being like 5 or 6 of these guys in this house.